All right, live reaction time. Here we go. So this is. Can you see it, by the way?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right.
Oh my god, it's the Dark Magician, the Dark Magician girl.
Yeah, Dark Magician. The two most famous Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever, except for perhaps this one that's coming up.
Didn't they already, in like the original series, have like a origin episode for Dark Magician? Where they all went back to ancient Egypt and what was that? That was Blue Sage. That was Blue Eyes stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all that.
I think they did have Dark Magician girl on there. But
I'm gonna turn the volume down so that way we're not eclipsed by passionate duelists.
there's the Sage of the Eyes of Blue.
Yeah, that's a Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Cat's one of Cat's
Or
favorite cards.
The Eyes of Blue.
This one got me hype. I was like, oh man, Spirit Charmers?
And tell you, I'm probably not going to be happy unless I see Ancient Gears somewhere in there.
Oh, there's Ice Barrier. I don't know how hype you are about Ice Barrier. I mean, Trishula is specifically.
It's a fan favorite. Trishula was a meta strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that we're waiting for.
We're hype about Melfi. Oh, you're gonna love this part up here, because here's Melfi Rabby. Staring contest. It's on staring contest. Zeus. In a very Gundam-esque. I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything's reaction to this, and whenever he saw this, he's like, oh, Zeus? You know, like, what's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s is animated by Studio Gallup, which is supposedly, like, it was the remains of, like, a Gundam studio or something. So he was like, oh, man, like, so, yeah, this is probably them. And I was like, I mean, yeah, cool. You know, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Mech anime would be cool. Now this one, I played this deck for a long time, so this to me was just like,
Oh, no, 6 games.
Yeah.
Is this Karakiri? No.
Nah, it's
This
6M.
Karakiri, I have a friend that would be like fucking over the moon about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is just we want to do the combo infinite times and then win the game.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, if Isolde just happens to show up here, it's like, oh, there we are. Infinite combo time.
That's what I want now. It's just, oh, there's the live twins.
Yep. And I like how it just... Yeah.
But they're also gym thieves.
I like how immediately switched, like, they log out, and then it's just like them stepping away from their PC screen. Exactly like what happens when we do that.
I know, I like to commit crimes. I love committing crimes when I log off my computer.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was the scene from the Met, and there's Dogmatica.
Yeah, there's the Fallen of ALBAZ. Starts off with like Dogmatica punishment, with ALBAZ getting his shit wrecked by Fleur de Lis. Which, it didn't occur to me that that's the reason that he can't use one of his eyes, is because, you know, Fleur de Lis wrecked him in Dogmatica punishment.
No, Ecclesia's just gonna fucking bash his head in with a hammer.
And then, you know, like, there's this small break where it's like, oh, here's a commercial, buy some cards.
Do we have these cards?
We have the first one, yeah, but I don't know about the second one. A couple of little vignettes, like Fire Kings versus the Atlanteans. I was like, hell yeah!
That was the chapter girl laying down there?
No, that was Diabellstar.
Oh. Oh, there's Sulfur Cord.
Yeah, Sulfur Cord. I love how, like, it's just like, let's fade out, but then immediately afterwards it's like, no, we're not done yet. We're back to Sulfur Cords, please.
I just like the the sofa cord design. They have like the big one, and then it's got like a small little chibi version too.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wish the deck was better.
I know, like that's one of the crimes committed here. Is like Sofa Cord looks so cool, but like the deck is so cheeks. It's like, but there's of course like you can't just end on this. Obviously, there's one more thing.
Oh no, it's Ray and Rose.
Yeah, there's one little complaint I had about this little ending clip, and I'll tell you about it right here as soon as it concludes. It's Sky Striker. It's the girls who transform into mechs, but
But they didn't transform into
they
mechs.
didn't transform into mechs.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess to conclude this recording, Daryl, like, what are your thoughts on this Konami animation reel?
So the question I have
Uh huh.
is this going to be like the next series, or is this just a 25 years in the making card game
So
recap of some like lore stuff?
here's what I've found now, just from looking around. So this is a reel highlighting what Konami Animation can do, the new launch studio, Konami Animation. So this is basically a showcase, and they used Yu-Gi-Oh card lore just to kind of like show different styles of what they could do. Now, this is the Konami Animation Studio is was basically announced right now at the event at the Tokyo Dome, and it is not. It is something that I've found around. Is like this does not mean that we're getting anime for these things. However, it is my take on it that I'm like, okay, look, di- it seems kind of criminal to me that you wouldn't. I mean, like now you have your own animation studio, and this right here would just print money for you. Like at Fallen of Albas alone, like just it would just print money for you, and it would seem kind of silly to me if you didn't capitalize on it. Um, Other things that I would look forward to regarding this is I would look forward to getting kind of like these anime style trailers for new archetypes, kind of like what you see in League of Legends whenever a new hero is announced, that you get kind of like an animated trailer for them and stuff, or like new skins like the Star Guardians and such. So that's kind of where we are. Like, what are the plans? And let's not forget that Yu-Gi-Oh isn't the only property that Konami owns. Konami owns Silent Hill. Konami owns what else? Metal Gear. So like there is stuff you can do with this. Like so the question is like. What is your animation studio gonna do? Are we making anime? Is that what you're doing? Or are you just you have an animation studio for other reasons, which would seem silly to me.
Personally, I would like this more than like another Yu-Gi-Oh anime,
Yeah,
because
agreed.
we've had what, there was the original, and then 5Ds, GX, Zexal, Arc V, Vrains, and Sevens, and they all follow basically the same pattern of protagonist learns to play Yu-Gi-Oh or plays Yu-Gi-Oh really well,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes and fights the big bad guy and wins. I would it would be kind of refreshing if Konami went with maybe like, here's 2 or 3 episodes of the Dogmatica lore.
Yeah.
Here's 2 or 3 episodes explaining the Ice Barrier lore, the Six Samurai lore, and do just maybe like 1 or 2 seasons of that, instead of here's Yuma Tsukumo learning how to play the game because he's bad, and by playing the game, he gets better.
Right.
And oh, here's the bad guys from outer space or from a different dimension or something, and oh, they're gonna try to take over the world,
Right.
but the protagonist wins.
And here's the thing that I want to say about it is, oh man, what did I want to say about this is, like you mentioned, you would watch 2 or 3 episodes of them setting up lore. It like so to that point, it also doesn't have to be like a full series. You could do like a short, you know, movie or something, right? Like a 45-minute special that just like tells you the lore of something, right? And it
Well,
doesn't.
with that, it just depends on what you're looking at, because
True, because like
there's some
World
things like
Legacy, you're not capturing World Legacy in
World
45
Legacy
minutes.
is like a 2 hour movie
Yeah,
that
World Legacy could also almost be 2, 3 movies, man. Like that is,
well, yeah, thinking of now, World Legacy would be the Yu-Gi-Oh! Lord of the Rings.
it would be at
It would just
100%.
be like 5 2-hour long movies,
Mm,
all just like depressing because nothing in that, nothing good happens in that except for
no.
like at the very end. I think they win. I don't know,
Well, sort of. Yes, it's complicated. World Legacy is complicated, but like,
but like they put so much into that archetype
yeah, and
and all the archetypes that like combine with it. So yeah, it would be nice in seeing like a a movie or something about that, and then you have things that like the Melfi's. You could do like maybe 2 20 30 minute episodes about the Melfi's, and
yeah,
that would be enough to cover the Melfi's.
right. You know, like it's like there's some that are so not complicated. You know, like they're super straightforward, and there are some that like merit like a huge, you know, amount of production value and stuff. So and one of the things that I've always thought is that there's clearly stories being told in these cards, and it's so weird to me that, you know, like it's just kind of lost because unless people are looking for it, you don't see it. You know, like you're never gonna know. Like just at a glance, you can't gather the story. In the OCG they do release like the books that tell you what the lore is, but here it's just completely like you have to piece it together based on the artwork on the cards. And
Well, with it here, it's either you piece it together yourself or you have to look for somebody who's done the research for you.
right,
They give us like nothing other than the cards here,
right, exactly,
and
and
the cards aren't like the cards aren't like magic cards where they have like flavor text at the bottom that says, "Oh,
that's very true.
Yargle and Multani were." Yargle was a frog that ate all of the poison ichor from the Urbog swamp, and it warped him. And then Multani is a tree person that something something, and now they're 18-6 that punches you in the face.
Right.
We get like a flying dinosaur dragon thing, and we get like a box of what the flying dinosaur thing does, but we don't get like any flavor text to tell us, oh well, it's a flying dinosaur that used to roam the earth and stomp on school buses.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so lost, and I feel like that is just such a waste of so much hard work. You know, because like the lore is there, that somebody wrote it, and we're
Yeah.
just doing nothing with it. So I feel like this studio has the potential to just like really do something special. Because, you know, here's another thing that I've heard made mention is that, you know, sometimes like maybe and this may or may not be true, but like every archetype is somebody's favorite, right? So even if your deck's no good, like if it just has like a baller short, you know, like maybe it gets a little more attention, you know, like maybe it gets a little more love. um Shoot, something else to say was, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a fun thing. I hope they do more with it. I hope that it wasn't just like, hey, let's show off what we can do, and then immediately just do nothing with it.
Yeah, it was. like like it would be very disappointing if it just ended with, "Oh, we can do this, but we're not going to."
Look what we
Because I
can
think
do, but we're not gonna do anything.
I'm pretty sure like a lot of people would just be like, "Hey, Konami, we have our torches and pitchforks.
Yeah.
You need to do this. You need to make this."
Oh yes.
And like you said, if you shine light on like some of the lesser known, an archetype that just came out that would be really cool to see would be like the ancient treasure artifacts.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think it was Tenzin Unagi or something who
Mm.
used it in Arc 5, or not Arc 5, 5Ds.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing like you have the whole story written there,
Mm-hmm.
you just have the like backstory of Tenzin Unagi going to all these ancient civilizations and getting the artifacts like the crystal skull, the Ashoka pillar, the uh, Cabrera stone.
Oh, you talk about the chronomaly?
No, phenomenal. It's different.
Oh, it's a different thing. Okay, I thought they were the
Yeah,
same.
no. This is the like cursed ancient treasures
Gotcha,
that
gotcha.
just came out in the TCG. It came out. We got Crystal Skull and
Mm-hmm.
like a couple other in Battles of Legends, something Revenge. The most recent Battles of Legends. I think
Monstrous
it was
Revenge?
maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to look. And then we got the rest of the cards in this last like side set. Maze of Millennia. We got the last like 5 cards.
So something I want to ask, and I want to ask this of the chat too, of the comments. Uh, Seeing all this and seeing what Konami can do, like what they're just kind of like hyping us up for. What is an archetype that you would absolutely like lose your shit over if it got like an animated movie, sequel, short, or like movie series, short, whatever? Me personally, I mean, like, I think Fallen of Albaz and World Legacy are like no brainers, like 100%. Yeah, let's go. I would also love to see Exo Sister, though. I think Exo Sister would be fucking dope.
Well, every time that we've mentioned something like this, I always default to saying Ancient Gears,
Mm
just because that was like my first deck that I made. It's my favorite deck.
mm
Um, but like, there's a lot of like really good archetypes. I could see Magispectors being pretty cool.
mm
Uh, Definitely Light Sworns,
mm.
like the Light Sworns and Twilight Sworns with Judgment and Punishment Dragon. That'd be pretty cool.
Lightsworn would be
Then
pretty freaking dope.
you have things like the Skull Servants.
Skull
That would
Serpents.
Yeah, we see how that would be like a comedy one though.
I agree. Yes,
Um,
100%.
and then you can there's just so many interesting archetypes like you could come up with lore or have lore about. Raid Raptors. They recently got support. Give me an anime about like the Raid Raptors because they're just mechanical birds that
Robot birds. Like, there's
are
no dialogue. It's just
armed to the
mechanical
teeth with.
screeching.
Well, that's like a fan favorite archetype
That's
from
true.
Arc 5.
Right.
So, or Arc V. I keep calling it Arc 5 because V is 5 and Roman numerals, but it's
I always
Arc
call it
V.
Arc 5. I've never called it Arc V ever.
Apparently Arc V. That's what I've been
Apparently,
told.
I
But
guess.
I could care less, honestly. But um, yeah, Raid Raptors help do space fish, goatees.
Yeah, go like all kinds of like really really obscure things that were making an animation for it would be like I feel like Goaty would almost be like a National Geographic like documentary type
Yeah,
thing.
like a documentary. Give us something about the Earthbound Immortals. They've gotten a bunch of support recently.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like an archetype that the thing to do
Mm,
would be when you're releasing support for a legacy archetype, that would be what you would like make your lore video on.
mm-hmm.
So if they were to release like Crystron or something, make a video about the Crystrons.
Yeah.
And
Well, the Krystrons aren't they part of like the Draco Slayer lore? I feel like Krystrons, Zodiacs,
I know
True Dracos.
Magispector are. I don't know about
I'm pretty
Crystrons.
sure Krystrons are like like sound off in the comments that like Krystrons are part of this. I'm almost positive. But yeah, so that is the Konami Animation Studio announcement and their showcase. So that was kind of fun. I hope they do more with that.
I hope they do something with that.